Okay, on to the next one. What do we got next? Libra. Keep in mind, these are the original 13 zodiacs. Hopefully you guys are doing well and keeping yourselves busy and occupied. Alright. Venus, copper, jasper, kidney, thymus, topaz, scales. Now, I was a little bit concerned. I did that, I got myself and my fiance to do the parasite thing, where you go get the test run. And I was concerned because one of the containers has like corrosive on it. You know, the Wemyss labels. It has corrosive on it, meaning that like any organic matter you're putting in there may destroy what's in it before it gets to the lab to get tested. So I was little... Anyways, it came back. Apparently both of us don't have parasites, but I'm still going to do a cleanse. I'm going to get that stuff, preferably the stuff that's meant for children, because it's a little bit more gentler, with the binder for any of the stuff that gets released when they die, and then to get them out. I've been chewing on cloves. I've been eating cloves in the very morning and before I go bed. And then I fit it into whatever smoothie or solid foods that I'm eating. I just like kind of put them in there. Really not bad. Even just chewing on one cleanses out your whole entire mouth. It's potent. I'll tell you, if you take a clove and you chew on it, almost takes your breath away. This is almost like if you were to put like a glob. I don't recommend this, and I'm not saying to do so. It's almost like if you put a glob of toothpaste in your mouth, it like takes away your breath. Anyways, okay, so we got Libra. Out you go. Anytime I hear somebody sneeze, I say out you go. I don't know why or when I started that, and none of my relatives ever said that, so I don't know where that comes from. Okay, Libra, we'll start off with Island Time Wellness card. What can we get for you? Gotcha. Sword in the Rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. So you could feel very powerful at this time. You do have protection around you, whether this be your spirit guides, guardian angels, whatever you want to call it. That's really loud. I'm just going to lower it just for a moment. There we go. I do believe that when it comes to certain people in your life that you keep close, that you do honor them. So you have respect for them, you protect them. Picking up on a masculine energy, but it very well could be feminine as well. You have the clarity and truth. So maybe there was something you weren't sure of previously. For some reason, I'm looking at the rose. So like this time of season, it's bringing out some things. Maybe it's cutting back the veil, or it's just giving you more clarity. You might be getting signs and synchronicities, or you might be getting certain downloads coming in that's making it make sense for you. Whether it be like questions you had previously, internally, things about your own things that you wanted to resolve. Maybe these are things that are starting to kind of bubble up. Not in so much like a hurtful kind of way, but it's like one at a time they're kind of coming out of nowhere and you're like, oh, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that. I guess there was a lesson there too. Kind of like taking it with a grain of salt. Sodium could be important too. If you're not sweating it out, remember not to take too much. And if you're not getting enough and you're sweating it all out, that you got to get some in you. Past life oracle cards. What else can we get here? Finances. Okay, you got truth and clarity about your finances coming out. Maybe you're getting a little bit more leeway or a bit more understanding of the circumstance, whatever it is that you're going through. All right. What can we get for Libra? Actually, I'm going to go over here. Alright, let's see. What can we get for a clue? For clarity, truth, revelation, and finances. What can we get for a clue? Strength. Property of being strong. Force or energy, power. That's the second time that's come out. Support, vigor, intensity, amount or numbers of an army, fleet, or the like. So in your spiritual side of it, if you have like an army standing behind you ready to go on your word, you have to give them permission to take necessary actions when they need to be done, rightfully so, and with justice and honor and good integrity attached to it, okay? So your intention's everything. But they need your go ahead. You could have an entire fucking army ready to go at your word. I want to say at the drop of a hat, but at your word. And if you need to take more time outdoors, please do so. What else can we go here? What's this power and energy? Whoa. Excuse me. That was a lot. I think that's too many, guys. Okay. Let's see. How many got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of clubs. All right, we'll start over here. These 3 came out. We've got the High Priestess in the reverse, the Star in the reverse, and the 10 of Clubs. So when it comes to burdens, these things coming up, there may be requirements needed for you, because you are the Star as well, right? But you got the Star energy in reverse. There could be a little bit of guilt here, or a little bit of sense of shame that was projected onto you young. And if that's the case, when it comes to doing your healing work, you don't want to let those things overtake your healing process. So what happens is that some people will go into a state and they'll remember certain things from their past, and rather than using their proper judgment, like the High Priestess, and using their logic and reason and their gifts, which would mean their inner vision and their clairvoyancy or anything like that that they have, instead of using it with a straight head on, they use it out of emotion, and it's not helping clear up any of the burdens. Okay. I mean, I've done it too, where I know I have so much potential and I know I have so many gifts and stuff like that, and there's certain states that I've been through, and it just feels like I'm carrying so much that how could I possibly ignore what the burdens is that I'm carrying at the time. But the thing is to release and let go of what doesn't serve you, right? So if it doesn't serve you, if you've done everything that you could possibly do for that specific thing, you need to let it go. If you've let people go in the past and they keep pulling on your energy, you need to let and release that and let it go. Because what it's doing is it's taking everything that's good about you and it's kind of reversing it. It's almost like using you against you. And then over here, we've got the 3 of Clubs in the upright, but then the 2 of Clubs in the reverse. So you want stuff to come in. You want the ships to come in. You want certain things good for you that is meant for you, especially the Star energy, but you're stubborn as fuck about it. Maybe it's these finances you wanted. That could be the clarity that you're getting, the truth that you're getting. So you could already realize that all the things that I'm already telling you, you could already know. Like, you're well aware of this. Now it's whether or not you use the proper judgment, right? Are you going to discern the difference between the energies that are coming your way? Are you going to discern the difference between the people that you're meeting? Are you going to discern the difference between the actions that you're taking? What impulses you have, the emotions that you carry based off of whatever burdens are being placed in front of you. What else can we get for Libra? It's free will, ultimately. Courier. A man who dresses leather after it's tanned. Could be getting a lot of sun, but this is like more, maybe you're getting more in touch with your inner child, which would be nice. But that very well could be where these burdens are coming from. Let's say you've put it on the back burner for like decades, and then all of a sudden you're starting to do the shadow work. It's going to seem like a lot until you get used to it, until you get comfortable going through the emotion, learning the lesson, understanding, releasing, letting go, forgiveness, and all of that, those different stages for each one of the traumas. It's going to take a little bit of time. And so what if you're stubborn, you're stubborn. We've all had that moment, I'm sure. I haven't met a person that has, unless they've been like completely groomed to do so, completely complacent and just agrees with everything or goes with everything and doesn't have an opinion about anything. Like, I very seldom meet people like that, but then again, I would have to be in that frequency to pull those people around me too, right? it would be a good reflection of what's going on internally. That's something that you could use as your gauge. You could definitely use that as your gauge too. The people that you're pulling in, right? Are there a lot of people coming in around you that are healing? Well, you yourself are going through that process. Are there a lot of people coming around you that carry a lot of burden? Are there a lot of people coming around you that have all this potential and gifts and not fully utilizing them or seeing their full potential in themselves or appreciating it? And it is tied to finances too. So the tricky thing is about all this, even if finances, even if money didn't exist, this energy exists. This energy has always existed. The whole idea of luck and abundance and things coming into you that you need and stuff like that. And if it's tied to any of this, if you're seeing any sort of fluctuations, it could be a little bit of stubbornness. No judgment, right? Happens to the best of us. What else can we get here? Let's see about these burdens. What about burdens for Leo? I want to say Leo. So somebody that's a Leo or somebody that carries Leo in their chart. Is that a burden? They know you know. You could be with somebody or around people and they know that you know that they know. That you know. Okay, so there's a knowing, understanding there that's not being spoken, which seems ridiculous to me because I'm pretty straightforward when it comes to what I need to say. I don't beat around the bush, so I'm finding it hard to resonate with this, Libra. But if you're around people and you know something and they know something and you're not speaking about it or things aren't being talked about, it's going to create a little bit of a burden too. That could be where the stubbornness is going. Maybe that's the next step in order to get to the next level, to free up whatever it is that you want coming in. They know you know. And I put it in cap locks too. Like that almost looks like a threat. Never have I ever got this card where I read it and it looks like a threat. Why would you be threatened by that? Is there certain information? Past trauma energy or certain things you don't want getting out? I mean, your personal information is your own. If you don't want to share that with anybody, they're not really supposed to be tapping into your Akashic record. If they do, at some level, you would have had to agree to that. Because ultimately it's going to turn out to be a lesson anyways, right? You've called that person in, or your higher self or lower self has called that person in vibrationally to teach you something. So it's whether or not you're going to see what this has to offer, see whatever is going to develop. It's up to you. I mean, you could fight it, but you're ultimately the one that manifested it. So unless you're doing something you shouldn't. I hope that's not the case. What else we got here? People around you may pull on your energy, more so if they sense you may still be healing. Focus on the tasks at hand. This one's really important, really crucial. I gotta tell you, it doesn't matter what people think they know. You should know you better than anybody else. So focus on the tasks at hand. If people are pulling on your energy, or you've got certain people trying to distract you or throw you off course, or blah, 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 blah. Anybody that's trying to do that sort of thing, then you need to be able to prioritize yourself. Put yourself first and make sure you're taking care of yourself. That's number one. You are the star here, okay? And very, very much so could be this Empress energy as well. But if you're in the reverse, there's a reluctancy there. Your body is a combination lock to the divine, so treat it as a temple. Reconnect and trust a sublime healed mind. When you're doing your healing, you get to unlock certain things, certain frequencies, unlock certain levels to this whole system that they've got set up here, which is really interesting because when you start tapping into some cool stuff, like, it's funny how you can manifest so many things like really quickly. But your body ultimately is going to like scream at you and tell you certain things. Just like I was talking at the beginning about the like parasite cleanse and that. Like your body's going to tell you if there's something going on, if you have an aching back or an aching elbow or an aching chest or whatever it is, there's something there that you have the capacity to heal. But it may have a connection. So check your chakras, check your, good catch, check your major and minor chakras. Okay, there's minor ones too. And check the spiritual connection to certain body parts. When it comes to reflexology, there's certain organs that are all coincide with each part of your foot, like the pressure points. That seems to be very important right there. I'm going to pull another one for past life oracle cards. Self-defense is a way to protect when unhealed. Need to reflect. These almost sound like riddles. I swear when I wrote these, you'd think I was on drugs or something like that. Yeah, okay, so self-defense is a way to protect when unhealed. Need to reflect. So if you really get defensive when certain people say certain things to you and you get triggered, obviously there's a little aspect there that needs to be healed. But that aside, there's time to go and reflect about it. So if you just hold on to that negative energy, you're super pissed off and that's what it's going to be the rest of the day, or you try to distract yourself with something else, or maybe even medicate or something like that, and you just ignore the whole issue at hand and you don't take a moment to reflect about it to actually see where that's coming from, that could be part of the stubborn nature too. Debug. Copy debug info just popped up on my laptop. Yeah. For real though, it's important. Not just your spiritual health, your mental health, overall health of your body. Those two go hand in hand if you ask me, because the chemicals released in your brain are really important to show the rest of your body. But if there's anything that's obstructing it, I almost want to say abstract. What about abstract? Like painting Picasso all over the place. Like pieces of puzzle. Yeah, very colorful. That could be the way your brain worked a little bit differently than most people, which is a blessing. And some people consider it a curse at the same time. You could be very creative. Thank yourself. Love yourself. Take care of you. Please do. That's like my favorite line. I'm going to get that as a bumper sticker too. 10 or 1, new beginnings. 0.10 decibel sound, Saturn brings change to those open to information. So when you open up yourself to possible solutions, when you open up yourself to healing or anything like that, and just be, calm about it, even reasoning, then you open up to new information and change that's going to come in, right? When you speak the truth with good intention, others' responses to this is not your responsibility for how they're going to act and their emotions that's going to come out of it, okay? That's not all written in the card. I just want to add that. I might add it on the back. When you speak the truth with good intention, others' responses to this is not your responsibility for their actions. Okay, so when you speak the truth wholeheartedly and you speak it from the heart, regardless, obviously you keep it like you want to be, don't sugarcoat it, but when you speak the truth, other people may not like it. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. It's the truth. Okay? Or your truth anyways, how you see it. And if they're not open to that, if they're not open-minded, then maybe there are certain things, or if they're triggered, there's certain things that they'd have to heal. If they're understanding, they say like, okay, well, you said this to me right now. I see where you're coming from. I don't fully agree with it, but there are certain parts of it that I do agree with. And maybe we can work on this, or maybe we can come to a resolution or something like that. That would be a mature response from somebody that you spoke the whole truth to. Or somebody will go, you know what? I'm so glad you said it. I'm so glad you came out and spoke those words and said it, actually said it in front of me, because I've been waiting for you or somebody else to say that this whole time, and thank you. It's very nice to hear, or thank you for that clarity. You are the high priestess energy, masculine or feminine. You have this energy within you too, and the star energy. It's not coming out in the upright. Can I get why? Past life oracle card. Star, high priestess. What is this? I swear, if mother or father come out. Authority figure. So your privileges and your gifts and talents and abilities, this whole Libra, the whole balancing of scales, You were given tasks to do. So that means when you walk into a room, you're the judge. All right? And you see the whole situation for what it is. And it includes yourself too, but that aside, you see the whole situation, and ultimately you get to make certain spiritual judgment calls. If you're given that task from your ancestors, they're behind you 100%. They have a whole fucking army ready to go on your word. But if you're not doing your job, or you're not learning your lessons, or you're not doing whatever spiritual work you got to do, then this kind of gets put on the back burner, and then you're part of it. So like in the whole entirety of it, the whole general collective, if you're not doing your part, then that means other things and other places are going to suffer, or other people, or even yourself is going to suffer when you're not living out your purpose. That's one thing I wanted to talk about too, is there is when people take the route of having children. This is how I see it. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree. You can put down in the comments below how you feel. But when people have children, they choose a certain pathway. Most of the time they choose. Not all the time, but sometimes divine just steps in and it's needed. That is a pathway. And then not having children is another pathway. When you have children, it's a huge responsibility, and it's another opportunity to learn. They will also be a reflection of whatever it is that's not healed internally. If you have multiple children, then it's spaced out between all of them, and they get to get little pieces of you, and you get to see that with your own eyes right in fucking front of you. That's why children are a gift. It's like giving it to you on a silver platter right there. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's very easy. Sometimes it's wonderful experience and happy and joyous. And that unconditional love is amazing. Ultimately, it's a choice. A choice that is made. Okay? You can be a part of the child's life, or you don't have to be a part of the child's life. You get to make a choice. They are still your blood, and they're meant there to be there for a reason. And when certain things are not, accountability is not taken, or certain purpose isn't had, some people get a little bit lost. You always say people want to find themselves, which is true. Most of the time, people are having children and getting married before the age of 30, and their brain isn't even fully developed. They haven't even got a sense of self, or reconnected, or done any of the healing work, and then they have children. And then it's like, whoa, right in your face, right? But it is a gift, and it is a responsibility, obviously. And what I'm getting at is purpose. So when you have children, it's almost, first, for most people, it gives them a sense of purpose, which is a huge elevator. It lifts you up spiritually, emotionally. You tap into things you didn't know you had. And I only speak from what I've seen, because I personally have not given birth. I chose to go a different route, but it was very hard too. I don't have anything right in front of me to show me. I had to do a lot of the work on my own. I had to be my own mother too. In that sense, I didn't get certain things. I don't feel that I got certain things, so it was really difficult, and I had to go through that journey. So there's like different pathways, but ultimately it comes down to finding who you are, learning who you are inside and out, and knowing your purpose. This is a purpose. Being an authority figure and having say over certain people, or having that much support behind you, and I don't just mean here in the physical 3D, having that much support behind you is very important for this whole thing. It's like a spiritual battle, right? So if you're part of this spiritual battle and you don't show up for war, and you're like, fuck it, I want my finances, I see the clarity, the truth, I have some solidarity, I've spent some time thinking about it, I've been doing the work. It seems like a lot of burdens to carry, a lot of bullshit to go through, but who decided not to do that right away, right? Who put it on the back burner? And this is not necessarily all fault of yours too. This could be pre-programmed. This could be what your parents did. So like if they just put it off on the side and they didn't do their job, or they didn't do any healing, that's what you learn from. Monkey see, monkey do, right? Ultimately, you got to be open-minded to change and whatever's being brought into you vibrationally. So if you're given this gift, this is for you. And it's interesting that it just so happens to be Libra, the scales, authority figures, justice, protection, honor, power. Power came up twice. Just because others may want to see you fail does not mean you should ever want that or believe that for you. Never, ever in a million billion fucking years should that ever be the case. Other people don't get to determine your self-worth, your self-value, and what you want to do, your purpose, or what you need to live out for you. The divine universe will guide you as much as they can, but you can't let another person here in the 3D tell you who the fuck you are. What else can we get here? Let's get, well, we know the blockages. Let's get this authority figures a bit more into detail about that. And then we'll get some runes. Authority figures. And this could be long line, bloodline. And it's tied with finances as well. You start doing your job in the spiritual realm. You start getting more finances. Start making the judgment calls on the right people. Start getting your finances. Chariot, also considered like a police too. Again, authority figure. Duality. There's the moon in the background too. So that which is unseen, which you have access to from what I'm seeing here, but maybe not using it. 5, 6, 7. Looking to the left. That would be logic. Logic and reason. Okay, you've got this sword here. You've got an arrow. That reminds me, you could be dealing with a Cancerian. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius as well. And something to do with the ropes too. The ropes. You have the reins on it with the right hand. That again is logic too. Controlled by the left side. I had this video I'm going to be posting later too about right and left side of the brain, and how when you're looking at another person, this I consider my right side. This I consider my left side. When a person looks at me, they say, oh, you got something on the left-hand side of your face, right? And I'll go here. But to them, when they're looking at me, that'd be the right-hand side. It's like a complete mirror image. I have a whole explanation, another video. I did a short one. I think it's like 18 minutes or something. And I'll upload that later. But yeah, we got the chariot here. So, dealing with the Sagittarius, dealing with the Cancerian, dealing with the ropes. What does that even mean, dealing with the ropes? Would that be strings, attachments, dealing with the ropes, controlling 2 horses? Do you have like 2 women to control? That's weird. Dealing with the ropes, what does that mean? Stage. An elevated platform. A platform on which a theatrical performances are exhibited. Place of action, a halting place, distance between 2 stopping places. Okay, degree or of progress, point reached to put upon theatrical stage. So you could feel like you're being put on a pedestal or put on the spot. When it comes to what decisions you have to make, there could be like timelines or time frames. That's what I'm getting here, like a point A to point B. So like in between, you have like this huge gap of what you can do, can and can't do. But ultimately, it is free will. You get to choose. When you're given certain information, you have like a, from this point to this point, when you have information, what are you going to do with it, okay? That's what I'm getting there. What else was that? Where did it go? Stage. You could be a performer or an actor too. Maybe you're really good at keeping your emotions internally. Distant, yeah, that's what I've got for the distance between 2 stopping places. You got like timelines. Degree of progression. So how much you've progressed. Thank yourself, definitely. If you're going to be in self-defense mode, make sure that you know that you're not just overreacting. Think about it for a second. That time to reflect is really important, even if it's just for like a brief moment. Say, you know, those people that, you know, those people that go, they're having an argument. They're like, listen, I got to step out for a second. I need, just give me a second to process this. And then they go, they have maybe a smoke, or they go outside, walk around the block or something. They come back and they've had time to process it. That's what reflection is. Also, as in a mirror, time to reflect on the situation right in front of you. Okay, shadow aspects, good aspects of yourself, positive things too. Because I always talk about the most of the time I talk about the shadow stuff, but what about the good stuff too? Start talking about the good stuff within yourself too. Valentine Wellness cards, and then we'll get some runes. Where'd that go? Unconditionally loving. So you could very well have a partner. That could be the Sagittarius, this Cancerian. Unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection. There's reciprocity there, and falling in love. You could be a little bit preoccupied with somebody. That could be what's taking a little bit of the detour right here. Or they could be the one encouraging you to take on that role of authority figure. Okay? And then I want some runes. 1, 2, 3. Don't drop the ball. Where did it go? It's rolling. Object in motion stays in motion, right? So you got the good things going, keep it going. What do you got here? We got Anzus. Prosperity, vitality, signals, Odin, leader, justice, communication, insight, truth, wisdom, mouth, and guilt. A lot of what you say is important. Letter A, and throat chakra. And then we've got... Ooh, I haven't got that one in a while. Manas, or man, augmentation, support, innocence, the self, humanity, culture, awareness, social order. That's giving me the authority figure. Friends, family, and relationships. These could be very important things to you, okay? Letter M, but it's also a responsibility if you deal with a lot of people. Solar plexus and heart chakra. You do things from the heart. And the inner child. And then we have Iwas, strength, stability, denial, defense, tree of life, I, trust, worthiness, protection, motivation, reliability, enlightenment, transformation, turning point, which is really good. That's good to see. You got letter I and Y, and you got heart chakra again and crown chakra. And then we have, well, this one's good. You may use humor for a lot of things when it comes to certain things that are burdensome. Legus, formlessness, chaos, potentiality, humor, flow, water, lake, sea, intuition, dream, imagination, energy, renewal, revitalization, emotions, counsel, and fluid. It's bringing me back to authority figure again, too. A lot to do with emotion, too. Letter L, sacral energy, and third eye. So you seem pretty well-rounded. Just have to be a little bit more open, especially when it comes to opportunities for reflection. Other than that, you seem good. Remember to love you. Please do.